The station leading the way with exclusive interviews, stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs. Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
That's just her nature. That's a bunch of If you as a woman do not know how to manage your emotional responses to you not getting your needs met, you are emotionally abusive. If you utilize the knowledge that men respond to women's fawning emotions in order to get what you want from men, you are emotionally manipulative. If a man comes to you and attempts to express to you how it is that he feels outside of when you all having a conflict, because a lot of women, they get real holed up about that. Okay. If a man comes to you and expresses to you something that's bothering him, and it already took him a whole bunch of time to do that, and you lose your or you do emotional gymnastics in order to get back to how it is that you feel about this man bringing something to you, that's emotional manipulation. I don't want to hear nothing about it. You can cut it, slice it however it is you want to dice it. Baby, you're being emotionally manipulative. And you're being emotionally manipulative because society has socialized you to do that in order to extract the non-emotion from men. That's the reason why Bell Hooks said there are a number of women who don't actually want to be in the same equal space with men. There are just a number of women who are upset that they could not love, sex, cajole, or convince men to love them. And that comes from that father wound, bringing it all the way back. Because their mothers could not cajole, sex, or comfort that father into staying or being emotionally present.
Oh,
so what is
no. That? Here we go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason is back in the building. You already know what it is. I had a nice weekend. And, of course, I've got to keep the pressure. I've got to keep the pressure up. You know what's interesting? Over the weekend, we did a relationship roundtable at Drobe Stogie's Cigar Lounge in Inglewood, California. A beautiful crowd came out to participate over, Father's Day weekend. We had 3 clinicians in the building, 2 of which, they frequent this show. We had Delana Zimmerman. She was amazing. We had Dr. Pakoya McCall, Dr. P, my god sister. She was amazing. And we had a brother by the name of Chris Johnson, PhD. He was outstanding. He was amazing. And it was just, it was a beautiful conversation about the mother wound. And he took off from the free throw line with a blindfold on like Cedric Ceballos in the dunk contest. It was extraordinary. It was an extraordinary night. And this is how I know that it was amazing. Because days later, I'm receiving text messages. I'm at the cigar lounge, and people who were there were like, man, this was much needed. This was powerful. This was meaningful. This was life-changing. It was fantastic. And the cigar lounge and myself, they want to do it. They want to revisit it every 2 months. So I guess the next one is in August or something like that. But when I tell you, it was absolutely mind-blowing. It was fantastic. And really the impetus for tonight's topic. Is it unsafe for a man to be a work in progress / human within relationships? Is it simply impossible for men to be flawed in relationships? The brother Chris Johnson, PhD, I got to give him his props, from the Midwest, been through hell and high water, was very transparent, talked about his mother wound, talked about how wounded he was and the reason for why he got on, this education journey. And he immediately started it off by saying, women have a built-in victimhood card in America. And it allows them to be safer in relationships because men have to sort of walk on eggshells. It was very interesting the way he framed it. And it made me want to go even deeper, And he talked about how women have sister circles. He talked about how women are supported via family members and, all of that. And he was like, really, men don't have a place or a space to be flawed. They have to show up doing. They have to show up providing. They have to show up protecting. They have to show up winning. They have to show up integrous. They have to show up disciplined. They have to show all these things men have to show up as. And he was saying, and he gave an analogy about, him being a therapist. He gave an analogy about how a mother was abusive to her children and how the court looked at it slightly different because of her circumstances. Oh, she was a single mother. Oh, she had low education. Oh, she didn't have the resources. Oh, she was doing it by herself. All the pressures of being that, this, that, there. And so much more lenient towards her. And he was like, men don't have that card in this society. And in relationships, in intimate relationships, if you're a man, call in tonight, 1-800-920-1580. This show is for you. If you've made a mistake in a relationship and have never been forgiven for it, if you made a mistake in a relationship and was never redeemed for it, right? As a matter of fact, your mistake led to the end of the relationship. There was no redemption for you. This is your show tonight. Relationship sanctuary. Is it unidirectional? Or shouldn't it be bidirectional? Right? If it's a sanctuary for her, it should be a sanctuary for him. 1-800-920-15. I'm just interested to hear from y'all and how you live with yourself and how you have to keep winning. Right? Ooh, Lord. Relationship sanctuary, examining the necessity for male safe spaces within intimate relationships. Can men be vulnerable in their relationships? Now, according to Shaquille O'Neal, no. Shaq was like, that's the biggest mistake a man could make, is opening up and being vulnerable. I've experienced it. You know, I'm wrestling with bad choices and decisions that I made, but because I love this girl, because I love her, the pent-up frustration and disappointment in myself is welling up, and I got to talk about it. I got to say something. And then when you apologize, the apology becomes weaponized. Men and women, this is your show tonight. I want to talk to you. True or false? If a man can't be vulnerable in his relationship, he cannot be authentic, i.e. real. Let me read it again. True or false? Right or wrong? Agree or disagree? If a man can't be vulnerable in his relationship, he can't be authentic. How many men out there feel like they can't be their true selves around their woman? Unapologetically the truth. Unapologetically real. How you really feel. I want to hear from you brothers tonight. 1-800-920-1580. How does societal conditioning and traditional gender roles contribute to the fear that many men have of being vulnerable in relationships? In what ways can the teachings of spiritual leaders like one of my favorites, Paramahansa Yogananda, influence a man's ability to open up and be vulnerable in his relationships? How can the concept of being a work in progress be viewed as a strength rather than a weakness within the context of intimate relationships? Sometimes when a man is vulnerable, he's seen as soft. Is that not a stereotype that many men have been conditioned to thwart since childhood? Being a work in progress, being vulnerable. Nah, we got to come through as the dude every single time. Correct? 1-800-920-15. I want to know what you think. What role does self-awareness plays in a man's willingness to show vulnerability and embrace his human flaws within a relationship? Is your woman concerned about encouraging you to overcome your flaws by being forgiving and nurturing of those flaws? Or is she more concerned with the resources you bring to the table? Sex, meals, travel, fun, protection, money. Is she more concerned with what you can do for her than how she can assist you in getting past your wounds? A cheerleader, so to speak, a psychological cheerleader. Does she show enthusiasm for this? Is she interested in cheering you on and raising you up? Or is that your mama's job? 1-800-920-1580. Oh, this is going to get deep. How do attachment styles formed in early childhood affect a man's capacity for vulnerability and emotional openness in his adult relationships? In what ways can the principles of shamanism and spiritual practices encourage men to embrace their vulnerability and authentic selves within their relationships? Oftentimes, men simply don't have the infrastructure that a lot of women have. The sister girl circle, right? Oftentimes, men don't have that. And if a man can't be safe in his relationship, how can he provide and protect it? Isn't safety a key component for self-confidence? I'm safe here. I feel strong here. How many men feel strong within their relationships? How many men feel devalued? How many men feel unappreciated? I'm really interested to know how many men get marginalized by their women when they have, and we all have these moments, failures, setbacks, right? When we fail ourselves, when we fail ourselves and our woman, can she still be our first line of support? Maybe she can be our first line of support if we don't fail her. But if we fail her, is it her duty to be our first line of support if she signed up for this? How can men confront their fears of vulnerability and inadequacy to embrace the full spectrum of their emotions and experiences within relationship? Is there a safe space for men to do this in relationship? What role does self-compassion and self-validation play in helping men cultivate a sense of safety and acceptance in expressing their vulnerabilities within their intimate role? 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, when I step forward, we're going to dig much, much deeper into this topic because I believe there are a lot of men out there that are silently suffering. I believe there are a lot of men out there who get used up. Right? I believe there are a lot of men out there who get used up. What do you mean used up? I got to say this, Andy. You done spent your time. You done spent your money. You've spent your energy. You've worked on yourself. You've tried to do right by this woman. And unbeknownst to you, right? Unbeknownst to you, she ain't been feeling you. And she been plotting and planning on leaving for a long time. Do you know that there's no payback for all that he gave, all that he put into her? I'm just saying, and I'm not saying it don't go the other way. I'm not saying there aren't men out there that use women. That's not what I'm saying. I'm specifically talking about men who have endured this, right? I'm just interested to know, where's his recompense? Is his recompense in the next relationship? Do you know how much women get from men and move on and get the same from the new guy? It's a supply almost. And I'm interested to know, how do men bounce back from being unappreciated, right? From being unseen, from being unheard, from being unapproved of after making mistakes? Is there space for a man to be a human being in his intimate relationships? We're going to find out when we come forward.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now during our Memorial Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Memorial Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
KBLA delegation, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Has your weight loss dreams, have they turned into a weight gain nightmare? Have you been chasing those 20 pounds for the last 20 years? Then it's time for D-Herbs. D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse is a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days. The Full Body Cleanse will also boost your immune system and improve your digestion with summer just right around the corner. Stop chasing the 20-pound weight loss and propel yourself into a healthier lifestyle. To reboot your system and lose those 20 pounds, just go to dherbs.com and order your Full Body Cleanse or call 866-434-3727. Mention KBLA 1580 and get 10% off your order. dherbs.com. Experience healing.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Something new. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how rough riders roll. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how rough riders roll. Snitches wanna try, snitches wanna lie, the snitches wonder why, snitches wanna die. All I know is pain, all I feel is rain. How can I maintain with madness on my brain? I resort to violence, my killers move in silence. Like you don't know what I silence, New York killers are wildin'. My dogs is with it, you want it, come and get it. Took it, then we split it, damn right we did it. What the F you gon' do when we run up on you? Messing with the wrong crew, don't know what we gon' through. I'ma have to show how easily we blow. Let me find out there's some more that's running with Joe. Nothing we can't handle, break it up and dismantle. Light it up like a candle, just cause I can't stand you. Put my on tapes, like you busting grapes. Think you holding weight, and you haven't met the apes. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop.
A couple things. And I'm just gonna, ladies, give me grace. I don't feel like men are given that safe space in a relationship to be vulnerable and to be honest without being judged or without it being hijacked about how I made you feel about my honesty. And so what a lot of men learn to do through conditioning with dealing with women over time, even with their mothers, even with their family members, is learn to internalize this, because even if I have a legitimate gripe, I know when I tell you this, you may start to cry, you may start to flip it, and now I'm talking more about how you feel about what I said than what I actually said. And so we always talk about providing safe space for women, and that's a conversation, period, and stick that. But also for men, I think men are yelling and moving towards, like, I want to be having a safe space too. Keita, what's up?
I have a rebuttal to that, and I wonder if our rebuttals match.
What's up?
My question to that is now, because you said that you feel like the conversation goes there, is that just what the conversation turns into, and that's how you solve a problem? Because you might say something, and then I respond, and that's how the conversation is going. Hey, I like the fact you opened up to me, but I didn't like the way you said it. So can we talk like this, or can we do that?
So in a small example of what I was talking about is what happened just now. right? Instead of realizing how I felt was legitimate and it was real and it was authentic and it's coming from a place of this is actually happening to me.
What happened?
You said, okay, but maybe it's not happening like this. Maybe it's happening like that.
I gave you a different perspective.
Hold on, let me finish though. I guess what I'm saying is, it is that. What happens is most, and I'm generalizations, don't quote me, but most men.
That's enough. I've had enough. I love the youngsters. Tonight's conversation is the clip. I love the youngsters. I love what they're doing. But I've had enough. We're listening is hurt people, toxic people, hurt people, right? That was a perfect example of how you invalidate somebody's feelings. And what it makes me think is women only care about their feelings. Oh, that's hard. That's okay. It doesn't make me feel that way. But that's what it sounds like, right? That's what it sounded like. The sister only cared about what he said and how it made her feel. She didn't really care about the contents of what he was saying. She was talking about how he said what he said. And oftentimes we get caught up in that little rinse, wash, dry cycle. It just seems that way, right? And I'm just asking, are women somehow insensitive to men's sensitivities? 1-800-920-50. I'm just interested to know. Let me give you an example of being in a relationship with two human beings. A woman can say something and maybe not use a terrible tone in saying it, but it could be highly insensitive. It can hurt a man's feelings. It could be about his mother. It could be about his kids. It could be about his parenting. It could be about his provision, whatever. It could be about his protection. She could literally question the core fabric of who he is. But if the shoe was put on the other foot, she's not expected to swallow the criticism in the same way that he is. She's basically saying, I'm telling you what you need to do, what you need to work on. If he flips it the same way and starts doing the same thing, she may in fact turn that into, but I don't like the way you said it. Right? So then there's this, he didn't make me feel seen. He didn't make me feel heard. But are women adroit at making men feel seen and heard in their most vulnerable moments? When we come forward, we're going to go to the phone lines.
My home is a cage, and yo, I'm a slave to my home is the grave. I'ma pull papers, it's all about the papers. Chickens caught the vapors and now they wanna rape us. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. It was a busy weekend for both President Biden and former President Donald Trump at a fundraiser in Los Angeles on Saturday featuring various A-list celebrities as well as former President Barack Obama. Biden expressed concern over how a second Trump term would impact the United States Supreme Court. Biden's campaign says the event raised a record-breaking $30 million from Democratic donors. Trump on the same day made a pitch to African-American voters in Detroit. When asked how to encourage black entrepreneurship, Trump said Detroit politicians need to stop the crime. The Vicksburg National Military Park in Mississippi has been awarded the Heritage Award for Excellence in Archaeology. The announcement made over the weekend said the site was chosen for the national designation because of team leaders' work on burial recovery at the Vicksburg National Cemetery. The team was also recognized for its cemetery preservation methods and for researching and developing stories about black soldiers who died in the Civil War. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
California Baptist University has clinched the #1 spot for career preparedness and an impressive /2 for the best student experience, according to the Wall Street Journal. Find out how CBU's award-winning experience can help you live your purpose. Visit calbaptist.edu/here.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow 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 the leader.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
In California, the use of man-made stone is causing workers to get silicosis. Silicosis is a fatal disease caused by breathing in silica dust from cutting, polishing, or grinding man-made stone. To prevent silicosis, employers must provide their workers proper equipment, including water systems and NIOSH-approved respirators. Stop dusty and deadly practices. Learn more at worksafewithsilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Hey, I am D.L. Hughley, host of the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show, heard weekdays from 2 to 4, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. I promise to make you think a little, but laugh a whole lot more. So tune in to the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show, 2 to 4, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me act a fool. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me lose my cool. get to you cowards, then it's gonna be quick. Alright, all your men have been to jail before, suck my dick. And all the motherfuckers you run with, get done with, dumb quick. You going post the dog with some bump. Alright, they go to gun click. 911, all over some dump. Ain't that something? It remind me of a strip club. Cause every time you come around, it's like, I just gotta get my dick sucked. And I don't know who the f you think you talking to, but I'm not him, alright, Slim? So watch what you do, or you gon' find yourself very next to someone else. And we all thought you loved yourself, but that couldn't have been the issue. Or maybe they just saying that now cause they miss you. Tried to diss you, that's why you laying on your back, looking at the roof of the church. Preacher telling the truth and it hurts. Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out. Up in here, up in here.
If I'm not able to be vulnerable with my spouse, with my woman, then I feel unsafe being my true self with my woman. How crazy does that sound? That means you will live with a woman 10, 20 years, you put a ring on her finger, have babies with her, you done known the inside of her body with your body, but you can't be the real you in her presence. You can't take off the mask. If the goal is to take off the mask, then we're gonna take off the mask. Yeah. There gotta be a moment in your life where you could come home, toss everything down and say, look, it was hard today. And it should be safe to be that way. There are places and people that you feel unsafe with. God forbid that be the person that you lay your head with every night.
Listen, I don't want to talk about it no more. Because the way I see it, there are a lot of women out there you could be vulnerable with. You could be vulnerable about your issues with yourself. You could be vulnerable about your issues with your transgressions against others. But you cannot, for most men, be vulnerable regarding your transgressions against your woman. Ooh. Uh-oh. Because those are the ones that really make or break the relationship, right? I lied to you. Well, if it hurts you enough and you feel enough remorse, you stand up, you be a man, and you say, I lied. But if that lie is going to be weaponized against you, if that apology is going to be weaponized against you, if that remorse is going to be weaponized against you until the end of the relationship, what's the incentive? Ooh. The ability to be vulnerable and embrace one's flaws and imperfections is often seen as a courageous act of authenticity and emotional honesty. However, for many men, the prospect of opening up and revealing their true selves within intimate relationships can be a daunting and intimidating task. The fear of judgment, rejection, and vulnerability can create a barrier that prevents men from fully expressing their emotions and sharing their human flaws with their significant other. But let me hit you this way. I cheated on you and I lied about it. I lied because I knew it would hurt you and I don't want to lose you. I'm not playing a pimp game or a player game. Well, wait a minute. How'd you cheat? Oh, when I met her, she asked me if I was with somebody, and I said no. That's the transgression. Right? And then it took me a minute to own up and say, no, that's wrong. You gotta acknowledge that. With her prodding as well. Right? You got to acknowledge that. And when you acknowledge it, it gets weaponized against you as you're somehow a bad person. You're somehow, do you understand? Unworthy. This is why many men don't open up and share. Let me read that again. The fear of judgment, rejection, and vulnerability can create a barrier that prevent men from fully expressing emotions and sharing their human flaws with their significant other. But why do many men fear vulnerability in relationships? This question delves into the complex web of social conditioning, gender roles, and cultural expectations that shape men's perspectives and perceptions of masculinity and emotional expression. Listen, I lied because I don't want to lose you. And if I come out and say, let me fix this and let me move this other situation on, and then you turn around and say, I got you. But you know what? Later on, I'm upset because I did say I got you, but nah, not really. 1-800-920-1580. Who was I was just about to go to him. Was it Edward? Edward, I'm just about to come to you. You was 10 seconds away. Edward, call me right back, but that's okay. That was Edward out of Torrance. I expect you to call back because I want to hear your thought. Let's get Reggie from Austin, Texas. We're going to start off heavy tonight. Reggie?
Man, it's crazy, man. I just need to have some parameters for the whole thing. The first thing is nobody can make you feel anything, be it good or bad. No one can make you feel like a man or like a woman. No one can make you feel like you're heard or whatever. That's you. Now, people can set an environment, but you think what you think. That's you. And so that's what that is. As far as listening goes, we don't actively listen. So yes, it's pretty hard to be vulnerable or yourself when you don't actively listen. Active listening is acknowledging what the other person said or what you think they said so they feel heard, and then you say what you need to say. That's active listening. It's not just, okay, or just sitting there and letting them just go forever. I mean, you actively listen on your program. And so if we're not actively listening, we can miss a whole lot of things. As far as being transparent, you have to see how your partner argues before the argument. So you know how they argue and you know what they're looking for, you know what they're listening for, and things like that. So you can confess what you just did, and they'll not hear a word after you said what you said because they just stuck on the confession and not any reasoning or not any understanding or not any context.
Stuck on the confession. Keep going, brother.
Now, if they're stuck on the confession, then they're not going to hear any of the nuances of what happened. Now, I'm not saying there's a reason why this person did the thing they did. I'm not saying that. They did it because they wanted to do it. That's why they did it. But there are some feelings and some circumstances that go into it. And if you undo those feelings and circumstances, then you probably could get to the root cause of why they did what they did and figure out if you want to work it out. And if you don't want to work it out, that's fine. The consequences of you doing what you do, I mean, that's science. That's Newton's third law. Every action has an equal but opposite reaction. So you did what you did, and the reaction is she's probably going to break up with you. That's the reaction. And you have to deal with that and understand that. But there's also another reaction.
Keep going.
She could work it out with you. And all the different decisions between those two poles could happen. But if you don't listen to her actively and y'all don't actively listen to each other, ain't nothing ever going to happen. Yeah.
Reggie!
Yeah.
Guess what you just did?
I tried to bring Austin in the building.
Austin is in the building. Is there a safe space for men to be vulnerable, for men to be themselves, for men to be human, meaning flawed in intimate relationships? Are you dating just his good attributes? Can you live with some of his more challenging ones? If you can't, there's no judgment. But how do you get to that point? Man, get to your phone lines. I want to hear back from Edward in Torrance. Edward, I'm calling you out. You were our first caller on the line. Get back in here. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is
grab the keys.
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. This rap is mine, motherfucker. Game. What you heard is what you hearing. It's what you hearing. Listen. It's what you hearing. Listen. It's what you hearing. Listen. X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop out, I'm stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make a motherfucker wonder if you get it. Damn right, and I do it again. Cause I am light, so I got to win. Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break bread with, I'll break who you sending me. You motherfucker never wanted nothing but your life saved. That's on a life day, I'm getting down. Like it said freeze, but won't be the one ending up on his knees. Please, if the only thing you can't steal was came out to play, stay out my way. Motherfuckers, we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to ya, he gon' give it to ya. X gon' give it to ya, he gon' give it to ya. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to ya, he gon' give it to ya. X gon' give it to ya.
I felt like I didn't have that vulnerable place, man. You know, like some women will be receptive to that, dog. And some women think you a sucker, you a punk. You know what I mean? Like not knowing, like, bro, like if you really knew me, like for real, you wouldn't even be on that. Like at the end of the day, like when it go down, like yo, I'm playing for keeps, man.
Right, yeah.
But you feel like sometimes you can't show that side because they won't respect you at the end of the day. You let a tear drop, man. You have that soft moment where you like, man, I just need to lay my head in your lap. And I felt like I couldn't do that. So the only emotion that started feeling good to me was anger, man. Like I could
pause it because I'm sorry because I'm gonna play that from the top. I'm gonna play it from the top. Women, do you give a damn if your man sheds a tear in remorse over what he did to you? And I'm not talking about somebody balling their fist up and crushing your orbital socket. I'm not talking about that. You gotta leave that. Do you understand? Dr. Christopher Johnson broke down something so cold. He broke down the 3 stages of forgiveness at the Relationship Roundtable. He has a doctorate in theology. So he went through the whole machination of forgiveness. And it was so eloquent. I'm not going to give it away because I'm going to be putting clips of the roundtable out because we filmed it, right? And the audio was amazing. It looked great. He broke down the 3 steps of it from a theological perspective. And after he was finished, I was so dumbfounded. I said, do you know if people followed what you just explained about forgiveness, do you know we would have half of the relationships we had to get into in order to get over the person we didn't forgive? And he was like, yes, forgiveness is conditional and transactional. It's superficial. But when he broke down the 3 components of real forgiveness, it had that whole building shook. Everybody was shook. Men, do you feel that being vulnerable about your shortcomings with your woman is a bad idea? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. How many times have your vulnerable moments been weaponized against you by the person you thought loved you the most? Andy in here squirming in his seat. You okay, Andy? Okay, Andy, you good. All right, let's get to these phone calls. Who's been on the longest? Blake, Chicago, Illinois. Blake, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Thank you for allowing me to call in. So essentially, overall, I kind of tend to look at, the issues concerning men and women from the perspective of, self-control. You know what I mean? Because if we're going to call ourselves the protectors and the leaders of ourselves and our in the family, such and so forth, I think there's a level where, we kind of really have to try to see what it is that we could be, kind of doing different. And, a lot of times I believe that we create the dynamic, where there can't be any type of vulnerability in the relationship.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Now
you're cooking. Now you're cooking. You started off a little wobbly, but now you are cooking. We create the dynamic because we have what you just said, a template for how to be a man. Go ahead. Keep going.
Right. Because one thing that I've always heard mentioned by people that I look up to is how you start something is how you're going to ultimately finish it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, we try to create an image that, in order to get said woman. You know what I mean? We understand that, said woman doesn't necessarily want us or like us for who we are as a person. You know what I mean? We generally create an image for her to, want to be attached to, right? And in doing so, when there is a time of vulnerability, you know what I mean? When there is a time of drought, you know what I mean? That image that you create, the veil of that image becomes pierced,
Wait,
and
Blake,
I think that
Blake, can you are on point, but you got to remember relationships are bidirectional. We create an image that works. Don't forget that part. right?
Right.
Don't forget
Right.
that part. That's the purpose. That's the reason for why we created the image. If the image didn't work, would we use it?
Right. No, of course not. But I mean,
what I'm trying to get you to see is there is no this is your fault because you created this image. You created an image that works.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
So the person that the image works on is a co-creator of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So I don't want to absolve anybody of any blame. Everybody is responsible. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Everyone involved in the situation, has a responsibility in it. You know what I mean? But I do, look at the fact that quite often, we as men, we tend to, we tend to try to build relationships with women that we kind of know that really aren't for us.
Keep
you know
going.
What I mean?
Say more.
Like for instance, like when it comes to like the one topic that you brought up, which was the idea of her weaponizing the fact that you may have cheated and you came forward with that information. Quite often, there's certain things that she'll accept off of another man that she won't accept from another man. You know what I mean?
Keep going. You're cooking now. Let's go.
Like for instance, like if you if you do cheat, she'll probably be more willing to forgive it if you fit the build of what it is that she likes. But the man that's coming through, trying to fake the funk with her, trying to, like for instance, like if you start off saying, "Oh baby, it's just me and you," woo woo woo, there's going to ultimately become more of an issue. Whereas if you're just straight up with her from the jump and say, "Hey, there's going to be other women," you know what I mean? If she likes you well enough, then she'll accept that.
That's good. Stay with us. Don't leave, Blake. Oh, I like what you're laying down. Don't leave, Blake. We on fire tonight. We all over the country. I want to talk to everybody when we come forward. More from the VOR.
Hit it with full strength. I'm a jail, so I face the world like a girl in the bullpen. You against me against you. Whatever, whenever you gon' do. I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing. Only that you know who can chill. Come back and get the streets open. I've been doing this for 19 years. Wanna fight me? Fight these tears. I put in work and it's all for the kids. But these cats done forgot what work is. They don't know who we be looking, but they don't know who they see.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. It was a busy weekend for both President Biden and former President Donald Trump at a fundraiser in Los Angeles on Saturday featuring very